gang. Makeup is done, so I'm coming to you from my ugly bathroom, you know, always keeping it real. We're doing it messy. Because in reality, that's where all this happens, is in the bathroom anyway. So the last step, if I was getting ready, would be hair, because I need to keep my hair out of my face in order to do my makeup, make life easier. So I'm gonna show you, in case this might help anyone, what I have done to really streamline the process and make it much easier. I have learned a couple of things recently. So one of the things that that I will say in terms of finishing touches, first of all, is the last step in the makeup, if it were a special occasion, which the holidays are, is lip color. So one of the things that I have done to make life much, much easier is I have taken advice from a friend who is a makeup artist, who suggested these Stila Stay All Day lip colors. Stay All Day liquid lipstick, and they are very, very easy. So one step, I have gotten rid of, you know, needing to do a liner and a lip color and a gloss. It's long lasting, it stays on, and they come in all different colors. They're not expensive. Today, in case anybody asks, I happen to have put on Rubino, which is a really dark, dramatic red, because we are heading into New Year's Eve, so I felt like it called for something a little extra. That's only a color that comes out once or twice a year. So one of the things I'm leaving behind, in addition to lip liner, lip color, glosses, and all that complicated stuff, is I have realized that I don't have to blow dry my hair, which is life-changing. I have a lot of hair, it takes a long time to dry it, and I recently jumped on board with, I'm very late to the party, with curling my hair, which I realized everybody else was doing for like the last 2 years or more, and I wasn't, because I felt like I didn't need an extra step. But I just recently realized that it's not necessarily an extra step. I did not realize that I can let my hair air dry and then curl it, and nobody is the wiser that I didn't actually dry it first. It will come out fluffier if I dry it, but there's nothing like a tip that can save you time. So I thought that I could share with you and show you this, you know, really quick. You can see how it looks right now, and see how easy it is to make it look nicer. So again, same thing as with the makeup, not to sound like a broken record, I don't think it matters that much what tool you're using. I was not willing to reinvent the wheel, so I did not go out and buy a new curling iron. I still have the same legit grocery store or drugstore Conair curling iron that I've been using forever. Like I said, I have a lot of hair, so I don't use a small curling iron, I use a large one. So I'm still working with the same old-fashioned kind. I don't have one of those new ones where you wind it yourself. But I think the technique is more what was life-changing for me than anything else. So I have a lot of trouble getting my hair to hold a curl. My hair is not curly. It is straight, straight, straight as can be. The only reason why there's a wave in it now is because there are layers. So the thing that I discovered that was so life-changing to me is how to get like a soft, loose wave that goes just at sort of the bottom of the hair shaft, because it was very tough to get the whole thing to curl. And if you want it even softer or even less of a curl than I do, then I'll explain how you can alter. So you want to part your hair, get it ready, and then you section it out and you take small pieces. You don't want them too big or it's going to be hard to do. And you're going to come in, put the curling iron sort of as high up as you can get it, you know, to the root. And then you're only doing that top part and you're flipping the whole curling iron over. This is what made the biggest difference for me. It was just seeing someone do this. And I just sort of help it a little bit if it doesn't flip over on its own. And then you very, very gradually just slide the rest of the hair into it. So you kind of relax it enough so that you can keep feeding more hair into, so you end up with a spiral or a corkscrew in the curling iron, see? And like still the very end of the hair is not yet in it, but it will be in a second, and you don't have to leave it there for long at all. And if you wanted more of a beach wave and a straight end at the end, which I don't, but if you did, you would just go fast at the end here and kind of skip over that very, very end of the hair. So I part it sort of down the middle of my head in the back, and I scoop the stuff on the left side over to the left over my shoulder and the stuff on the right side over my shoulder, and I start from the back. Personally, that's my technique. And then you end up with only that little squiggle at the very bottom, which is enough to give it a nice amount of body. So I mostly, like I said, start at the back. This is too big of a piece. That's probably not going to work very well, so I'm going to get even less. You are going to want to comb out whatever knots you have in it so that it'll slide better around the curling iron. But it's exact same technique, the whole head. Again, I'm taking just the top part, I'm winding the whole thing around, and then you've got the excess here. And this is super easy. This is so much faster than a full-on, it no joke, takes me at least 30 minutes, probably 45, to blow dry my hair. And this whole thing takes about 5-10 minutes tops, especially if I'm not making a video and not talking while I'm doing it. It's just a handful of pieces, like 6 pieces or 8 pieces total, and that's it, you're done. So this was really very life-changing for me. I find that if I do that on the first day, you get a lot of curl, and then gradually with each day that goes by, it'll flatten out a little bit and relax a little bit, but it'll still kind of hold there, and you'll just end up with a little bit less curl than what you had the first day. But it sort of keeps a style for several days in a row without needing to rewash it, which is also a big game changer for busy working parents, working moms. We could probably take a little more. And that's it. You just move around like that. I'm sort of doing this like no muss, no fuss. I don't even mess with clipping up pieces. You can do that if they're getting in your way. And then I just make sure that it all flips over. You know, if it doesn't flip over on its own, I'm moving out of the way the pieces that aren't actually in the curling iron. That's it. I'm gonna jump ahead a little bit so that you can keep watching, but you don't have to see each and every piece, since obviously every piece is exactly the same. I'm just moving down the hair shaft. So hang on a second. I do the bottom pieces and the top pieces separately. I think most people will tell you to curl away from your face so that the hair heads backwards rather than, you know, forward. I think because my hair is so flat and it doesn't take a curl so well, the only thing it's usually willing to do is curl under, so I tend to kind of curl it under. Okay, if you're watching what I'm doing, I'm just like tapping on this ever so slightly to loosen it enough to let me come downward a little bit. And you'll know when you come all the way down because it's not holding it anymore, the hair is done. And then I've still got this piece at the bottom that needs to be done, which actually feels like quite a lot, so we'll make that into 2 pieces. Same thing, I go, you know, kind of as far up as I can in terms of getting as close to my head as possible. You'll know you need enough room to wind the curling iron, so you can't go right up to the root. And then you just, you know, squeeze a little bit so that you can feed it a little further. Again, squeezing and letting some more come into, see the end is still not in there yet, but it will be in a second. And there we go. We basically have the whole section now inside the and it doesn't look like much as you're going along, but I think it looks infinitely better once it's all done. I have been getting tons of compliments and questions whenever I do this. So, you know, you're getting a lot of, I missed a spot, you're getting a lot of impact for not a lot of effort, which if you're a busy working person is invaluable, I think. There you go, one side is done, you know, and I just sort of give it a little shake. And that you get these like really loose, long, gorgeous curls that I would have had no clue how to make otherwise. And the whole thing kind of flips backwards because of the way that we rolled it. And I'm gonna do the other side now. And it's that easy. Same thing on this side. I started in the back. I'm rolling it towards the back directionally so that you can see. And again, we've got the end is sticking out, and then little by little we're squeezing and we're moving downward, and then we roll it back in a little bit. The end is still out. Now it's almost tucked in. Now we're doing a top piece, which I'm going to show you. It's the same technique, but just in case you want to see what the top looks like versus the bottom. Going up as high as we can, with there still being enough room to wind it around. See how there's almost not enough room to wind it around. There you go. That's it. You've got that weird part sticking out at the end, but don't stress about it. It's there on purpose, you know, just keep it moving in the right direction. And then just keep working your way down your hair shaft and feeding more in, and then you can wind it back up a little bit if you want more of a spiral. See? And if you go fast at the end, like I said before, you'll end up with that end that's not really curly. So up to you whether you want that or not. If you want the end to be truly wavy, and I tend to sort of not pay much attention to trends, and just do what I like for it to be a finished end. So I'm gonna actually come back in and go back over that piece and do it a little better this time. You know, it's very simple, it's very easy, and it's the kind of thing that if you mess up a spot, you can go back in and correct it. Even if we're not talking New Year's and we're not talking Christmas and we're not talking a special occasion, but you just need a quick way to sort of revive or polish your hair for a Zoom call or some other kind of an online virtual meeting. If you're not great with blowouts, which I know a lot of people don't do their own blow dry, this is a way that you can get like a quick amount of polish and style, the appearance of it anyway, without having to have a tremendous amount of experience and technique. So that's my thoughts. I am not a pro. I have no training in cosmetology, no licensing. I just happen to put some time and effort into my hair on a regular basis. I am a bit of a perfectionist. I like for it to look good, and I also try to pay attention when I do get it done so that I can learn. And I guess because I've got, you know, 2 or 3 decades worth of life experience, it's about the only thing that puts me ahead of the game, ahead of anybody else. I think it's just a matter of learning what you have and working with what you've been given. I think the confidence that comes with getting older is just getting to know yourself better, getting to know your body, getting to know your face shape, your hair texture, and having time to experiment and figure out what works for you. So my advice is just not to be afraid to try. You know, the worst that happens is it doesn't come out exactly the way you want it, and then you wash it and you start over again. I used to be a really big fan of short hair. I guess I still am. at heart, more of a short hair person than a long hair person. Before I had kids, I was a big fan of my nice short bob. I had a Victoria Beckham, like inverted bob, but that had to be washed, in my opinion, and blow dried every day in order to lay right and look right. And it was the haircut, the magic haircut, that finally worked with my hair texture. It looked good with straight hair because I was able to allow it to just fall down the way that it wanted to. But after having kids, I needed something easier that did not require that it be washed and blow dried every single day. So I will say that this is a trend, the longer hair, that is working for me and making my life easier because it can stay for a few days. So there you go. I personally think that makes a huge difference. It's worth the 10 minutes that it takes. Hopefully that helps you. If it does, let me know. Share with me your do's and don'ts. If you've got some kind of advice for me or alternate experience, definitely let me know. A little bit of heat styling that it gets also gives it the appearance of being shinier as a bonus. So there you go. 10 minutes to a finished, nice wavy curly hair. Hopefully that helps you. Take it easy, guys.